Hey, sorry. Listen, I know what it looks like. I know I said we dropped it. I know I said we're done. But I felt bad. I felt bad. I felt wrong to continue the KyoAni slot and not come to a completion with this, right? Like it just felt wrong, especially because it won a poll and people like wanted to see it. It felt bad. So we're here. I have made claims. I know to some of you in the comments before that I wasn't comfortable continuing this due to the fact that I can't remember anything that happened because the last time I recorded this was probably towards the end of September. I think I uploaded the last episode of this at the beginning of October, like first day of October, and here we are about 8 months later. And I had nothing to do with the series since then. So my memory was kind of gone about where we were at and everything. And I had no confidence or did not feel comfortable in the slightest actually recording and doing this series anymore. Because I like to be somebody who knows what they're talking about, right? Or maybe if I don't know, I like to at least think I know what I'm talking about, or feel like I'm at a level where I can maybe add something of value, or I can say something and follow along at the story at a level that's above like a surface level thing, if that makes sense. And sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes it does. But that's the intention and that's the goal. And that felt impossible with where we were at when I actually had time to sit back down and get back to the series. And I tried. I think I watched like a minute of episode 9 and I was like, dude, I got no clue what's going on. And I tried recapping myself by watching like my previous video on it and I was like, I got no clue what's going on. So I was like, I don't know what to do. But I've spent, the last couple days, I finished Nichijou and I was like, okay, I got to get a poll up, but we could finish this. So I've spent like the last 2 days just going back through and rewatching the other 8 episodes. Have I been paying attention extremely close and know everything that's going on? No, kind of loosely. But I feel like I got enough of it that I feel comfortable at least to be here. I don't know if my plan is going to be to do discussions on it, or if we're just going to sit down and I'm just going to watch all of these and put them all into one video and there you go, we're going to get that. I'm probably going to do discussions, but it's just based on how I think they come out. If I think I'm like adding anything or if I think I'm like completely lost at the time, if this is going to even see, if it's even going to be uploaded or if it's just going to be all combined into one and just a straight reaction. I'm uncertain yet. So we're going to see how that goes and we're going to kind of just go with it. But I did feel bad and I would like to get this done. And it felt right for us to be able to do. And then we'll move into more KyoAni after this. So we got about 4 episodes of this. There's an OVA, which I think is like a prequel. I don't think that's necessary to watch, but if people want to see it, we can do it. Usually I like to do like all the little parts of the series that we can, and not just kind of leave things unfinished. So we'll try and do that, I guess. And then we have a movie, and then we'll get through that. So at least anywhere from 1 to 6 videos you're going to be getting still on the series. And then we're going to move forward, and we'll put up a poll and something else will come out of it. So yeah, last time where we left off, Akihiro is awakening in his Shade version. So he was getting weakened due to the fact of the lull, which like I'm still uncertain of how that whole thing works. It would make sense due to him being weakened, but why would that version of him come out? I guess because that version's fighting for its life, so it's almost going to consume him and like come out and something's going to happen. It would make sense to me. We got our agency boy from the Hunter Association or whatever, and he's coming out and he's trying to capture him, and Izumi's not letting that happen at all. And she done pulled up on the boy. She's also trying to protect her family and everything after he's trying to cause the rift and stuff between them, as this is kind of a big deal. They're at odds with each other, basically. Not going to let them steal the prey of all these free and easy things that they can kind of take out. Why would they do so, right? So of course our 2 siblings as well are struggling to figure out what exactly they've been lied to and things have been hidden and what exactly the guy said was real and wasn't. And then we have to move forward with all of them as well. While Mirai has to struggle, does she want to stay by Akihiro's side while he's becoming this beast of a thing, or she's going to go out and kind of fight this so he can return to normal, and what exactly her next step is going to be. I have absolutely zero idea. But we're just going to kind of go into it and we're going to see what happens. So sorry once again for the extreme long delay, the over half a year delay, but we're here and I do have intentions of finishing this, and I feel like we're at a point that regardless of if I do the discussions or if we just merge it all together, you guys will get the end of this here. So I'm sorry for that, but yeah, without much more yapping, if you like it all, the like and subscribe, they mean a lot to me. Feel free to stick around for the discussion if there is one. Leave any comments with this episode or series. Let's get going with Beyond the Boundary, episode 9. Forgot how much like a Pokemon she looks like. Get to see such cool things in the process with the lull being here. It sucks too because they're all working at a disadvantage in here. Powerless. No. Also, I think for the first time I picked up on that being Aya's form similar to how Ai is the cat, and that actually being like her legit and true form, I believe. Uh-oh. No, Ai. What did he do to you? Does she have two tails? Nice and easy. Can Sweet Potato do anything though? Because he's gotten too fat. Does he have the energy in him? I think they did it though. We're good. Silver Bamboo. The matchup we've been waiting for. It's so unfair. They have to use weapons and you're just... Does he have his other weapon still? The one that he stole from Sakura? Or he gave to her? Those shots of him breaking out through the smoke and like the clouds of things are always so cool. It's pretty obvious. What the fuck? I'm trying to tear my family down. Give her back. Protect her. Alright, Mira, it's on you. It does remind me of Ayaka. For whatever reason, when I look at it, I see her, you know? So, with him being in a weakened state here and coming out, does it make him not immortal? Focus! That's crazy. It worked though. It's only worth like $1. Yeah, well, all the strong ones still come out. Come on. Say it to him. Oh, you can form a key with it? To your blood? That's what I've been wondering. So his other one was still more powerful and was able to overtake it, probably? So the other one... So whatever has the stronger side to them comes out, I guess? Yeah. Why does he have all those? It's journal. Oh my god.
メガネ美少女特有の何かを内包した神秘性はありつつも、表情は作りすぎており、自然さに欠ける。不愉快です。
One of the few times her catchphrase actually works. Holy fuck. He
こ
is.
れが世界でもレアな汎用の正体とは悲しすぎるわね。
勝手に家探ししておいて変態呼ばわりはどうかと思うぞ。
ですけどこれは
That's true. You're not supposed to see this. Aww.
不愉快で
We gotta get him back now.
す。何？また別の用務？
No, I think the boy's back.
危険を感じたらちゃんと逃げるわ。それより、
A smart
も
thing
し
to do.
戦うことになったらどうするの？
Oh, we'll give it our best shot.
特に今までと変わりはないさ。アッキーだって覚悟しているはずだ。
でも、秋人のお母さん言ってたわ。
Yeah, she's told him a lot of things so far, and he's avoided everything.
何ですか？これ。
アッキ
Either
ー
a
か。
footprint or a big explosion.
また近くに。
I can't
わから
tell.
ないわ。探さなくていいんですか？
This is part of it.
これはあくまで私個人の考え。従う必要も強制力もない。栗山さん、秋人君を発見次第殺しなさい。
Ah. Now I wonder if we kill part of him, though. It's like that, though. If that kills everything within him, or if his other one then becomes stronger and is able to take over and become that.
このまま凪が終われば、今表層に出ているヨウムの部分が秋人君の人間の部分を駆逐し、制圧してしまうと考えるのが
So we have to destroy that half
そうなったら
prior.
その存在は不死身の特性を持つ。
So we have to do that before the lull's up.
汎用でも人間でもなく、ヨウムとして意味嫌われ続けることになる。
Hmm.
凪の間なら不死身の特性は失われている。
Okay, he's definitely
凪
not
の
alone.
間なら秋人君を。
Right.
なんか、嘘みたい。
Finally find somebody that you...
ガス代、もったいない。
You're not paying.
お腹すいた？いえ。
Do something to relax or
やっ
keep
ぱ
her
り何か
comfortable.
あった。
I was gonna say, though, finally found somebody that she can feel like she's herself around and be comfortable around and happy around and a friend and make her feel normal, right?
何ですか？
Just to have it all taken away.
泣かないで。上来てよ、キモい。
勝手に入ってきてそんなこと言えるの
This
は
is his room.
妹の特権だな。
兄貴はどう思ってるの？栗山さんに秋人を殺せって。
As we say, the scars he leaves behind.
この条件下においては当然のことだ。
だったら兄貴がやればいいでしょ。
できることならやっている。
I wasn't asked.
凪の最中とはいえ、ヨウム化したアッキーを確実に殺すのだとしたら、栗山未来が適任だ。
教会の彼方は一両日中にも。
頼んだぞ。
Who is this creepy dude down here? This is like the second or third time we've had this. I'm assuming he's like the leader of them. Like their father or grandfather or something.
藤間弥勒と会ったよ。
そう。
栗山未来を使って何をするつもりだ。最初は信じてなかったが、
Is it for
彼
those?
女への接し方を見て考えが変わった。明らかに誘導している。アッキーを殺すように。
Yeah, okay.
アッキーのヨウム化についても、なぜ人間の部分が極端に弱ったのか原因が見当たらない。泉姉さんが凍結界でアッキーの人間の部分を
And she did. We saw her do that last episode. When she basically like put him to sleep on the train.
異界史協会は情けの失墜を企てているのよ。
He's like, let me in, please. I like how one night they can just go from like fighting non-stop with these things to just everybody's at school the next day. Like it's normal.
こっちの方が楽ですから。
We go back out and hunt at night.
いずれ話します。
Just tell her now. Better for her to be involved too, right? Let everybody aware of what's going on. Talk things through.
彼女には話していないのか。
はい。もともと言い返しては言い難いですし。
That's true. She can't really
そっちの方
help.
が私も
But she does know Buddy.
後ろを見てみろ。
So we might be able to learn a little bit about him and what he's after.
アッキーを殺すな。見つけたら俺に連絡してほしい。 栗山さん。君は、いや、
先輩なんて言ったと思います？
要するにメガネが大好きです
That's so
って
him.
思いました。こいつヨウムのくせに何言ってんだって。
アッキーらしいな。
知らなきゃよかった。こんなことが待っているんだったら先輩のこと知らなければよかった。
The common
誰
scenario.
かに意地悪されているみたいです。私本当に呪われているのかもしれません。
Can't have anything. Everyone that you grow close to and care for eventually has to be killed by your own hands, right? I does not want to be here either. She's stuck.
呼び立ててごめんなさい。
Oh, you got in? I didn't think he was going to be able to.
泉姉さんが栗山未来にアッキーを殺させようとしているのは間違いない。
Question becomes, but
だ
why?
が理由は何だ？アッキーを殺すことで情けに何か利益があるのか？不死身の汎用の排除？いや、それだけでこんな。
Yeah, I'm not seeing how that would be beneficial. I guess possibly just having and utilizing her. Maybe it's nothing against him.
教会の彼方の一部だというあの現象。まさか。
Is it attracted to
教
him?
会の彼方はその一部しか出現していない。ということは残りがどこかに存在しているということだ。
Is he that
それ
thing?
は恐ろしい協力でそんな奴は
Yeah.
しかいない。
So we need removal of that. So regardless if we get rid of the other part, he houses himself.
やっぱりここにありましたか。
Wow.
ご心配なく。今日はうつろな影の用務席を回収させてもらうだけですから。
There goes all of our knowledge. We just blew it all up. Does this lead her to him? That's actually really cool if it does. Oh, it does.
今どこにいる？
Right in front of him.
先輩の前にいます。
アッキーを殺すんだな。
はい。
最初からそれが目的だったんだな。
はい。
おい、もしもし。
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't think she does it. But I don't think he kills her, so I actually have no clue where this is gonna go.
異能の力を消す。
How lifeless he is when he just stands there. I like the gray that they're utilizing here. Because it makes the colors and the effects of this stuff really stand out. Ah, you can't do it though because you see through and you see him, right? Oh, she did. Never mind. How much she's grown since the beginning too, of being in fear of fighting against anything.
生きろ。
Takes off the glasses. The real battle begins. Lots of reveals occur. Lots of suspicions that I begin to have regarding a lot of the characters. I mean, a lot of them come to light and we really figure them out. But I guess a lot of them make sense. And maybe it's more so I gotta... Because the more I've been thinking myself through all of this, it's been making more and more sense. So I was just going to talk myself through it, I guess, now. And it will probably click a lot more and make sense. So we first get to really see that Izumi is behind, like, what her intentions kind of are behind a lot of these things. Well, I don't think, at least unless I'm not picking it up, fully getting the reasons as to the things that she's doing, and more so just seems like, claiming that she's here to protect her family and do all these things, which I guess could be on the surface level the real reason, but I'm assuming that there's a lot more, specifically regarding to the man that she keeps going and seeing and talking to about this stuff, that we don't really get full answers for, and we won't for a little bit, but we do get to see from the very beginning, it seems that she's been kind of manipulating and using Mirai to be able to kill Akihito, which would make a lot of sense, because if you think back to the early episodes, specifically I think the first one, when the initial attack was happening, like in the apartment, and we get to see like a couple different flashes to her and then the two siblings, so we get to see a little bit of like the family, like almost looking onwards or being kind of aware of the scenario and situation that's happening. We also get to see that she's the one who protected and came to the rescue and saved Mirai when she had, her whole situation and her other family wanted to kill her and everything. So we start to like connect a bunch of these things. I mean, they had the what was it, the Lantern Festival or whatever that they had. She came and she had a conversation with her at one point too. So it seems like she's kind of been loosely around her and keeping watch and keeping an eye on her and directing her in these directions to be able to go out of her way and accomplish the goal here, which is to kill Akihito, who is, I should say, partial version of what the lull is here from the beast that's kind of beyond the boundary that we're dealing with here, right? Which that in itself confuses me, I guess I could say. It's this thing that kind of weakens everything around it, is what they've almost built it up to be. So this lull is coming in and they're seeing that it's the incomplete version. It's not the full thing. The full thing hasn't arrived. They've said at multiple points, but he's the full thing. So is it just the awakening of it hasn't, like, so it's not just his presence himself, but when he awakens like this form and this version of himself, then the whole thing kind of comes out. Because if not, and it's just kind of present at all times in there, it's something that they should have sensed up to this point. It's also something that would have weakened everything around it for the time being, and now that the other version has come, should make everything else completely like weakened, and they shouldn't be sensing it that way. So I'd assume it's not the full thing until it fully comes out here, or until, like, I guess the two parts kind of collide and connect in some sort of way, and he can attach himself in some sort of way, or be connected with whatever this other version without its own physical form is, to kind of possess and take over him. I guess then it would unleash its true power. That probably makes more sense. We go down a route like that. So it likely, I'm assuming, is a similar scenario to something along those lines. And then we put ourselves in a spot where, so he's this being now that we have to kind of kill for basically the good of all. If we're saying, like, it's the smart idea and probably the right idea to go out of her way and kill him. So I completely get why she's probably doing what she's doing and why she's instructing and trying to manipulate and kind of use Mirai in the situation to be able to. Like, that makes plenty of sense to me. I mean, you don't, as a viewer, you don't want to see that happen, right? Especially somebody like you've been built to grow up and like these characters for 7-8 episodes now. Like, you really don't necessarily want to see that. But that would make sense. And then it also makes plenty of sense why the initial time that we end up meeting Mirai, she goes out of her way and tries to kill Akihito. They kind of play it off at first, like this is practice for her to actually go out of her way and kill the shade that she ends up having within her own home, so that she can live there without being like kind of in fear and get over this ability or inability that she's having to actually go out of her way and kill these things due to the traumatic past and everything that she's had before. But in reality, it's likely she was instructed and contracted by this person in Izumi to be able to come here and go out of her way to attack and kill him, and he never really took it that way because obsessed with girls with glasses. So she's the perfect person for us to be able to find and utilize in that scenario. And also, you see a girl like her and you don't assume that she's the most harmless thing at all. And he just kind of played it off like she really wasn't either, and he just played it off like, I'm immortal, I can't die, I can't do any of this stuff anyways. So her constant attacks over and over to be able to do that. I don't know if she necessarily assumed that they'd grow close and relate to each other like this so well, but that ended up occurring too at some other point, which makes it all the more hard for her to go out of her way and have to now kill him, taking something she felt like she had absolutely nothing, and that she's able to kind of find these things and grow this strong bond and connection to this person, and find those similarities in been with that person, and now you're taking it all away, and you have to remove her from that scenario, right? Every time she grows close to somebody, they get kind of torn away from her, and once again, she has to do that, and once again, she has to be the one who puts herself in that position to kill the person, which is a disaster, not a scenario at all that you want to see somebody like her have to be in. But it's one of those natural things that ended up occurring here, and it's not great, right? It's not what you want in the slightest here. I do like to see that Akihito also isn't immortal in this sort of state. I guess that's more so also where I get really confused. Is just the idea of like it would make sense, right? Okay, we have this other version of him get taken over. He's weakened due to the fact that this thing is coming in and suppressing the power of all the other shades and everything within it. But if he himself is like that vessel and that thing and that is the shade, or is this lull and is this beast that we're kind of so concerned with, why does that also get weakened in the process? Like, how does it weaken itself? If that makes any sense, that he's eligible and able to be killed at this point. Like, maybe I'm looking at it wrong, or maybe I'm misunderstanding or like just not getting something, but that doesn't feel like it adds up to me. Oh, I guess I'll see again when I go back and edit if it got explained, but that doesn't add up as far as I can really think about it here. I love seeing this version of Ayaka. Looks like a Pokemon here. Oh, that's so cool though. And I really do. I think utilizing the fights that, like, almost all the ones that we've been getting, especially in this episode, and they have the gray scene at the end and they have it in nighttime here, works really well for letting the abilities and effects really shine and really pop out. Brother wakes up. Yeah, she does have two tails. Why am I just noticing that? Why does she have two tails? I don't know. Everybody has to basically fight for their lives and go after a whole bunch of different things. We end up running into an encounter here with Izumi and our hunter guy. It's a weird situation, I would say, that they're in, but he's definitely really into, or the Spirit Hunters Association is essentially trying to take down her own clan, it kind of seems like, and he's being hired, and they're hiring people to kind of investigate, figure out a bunch of information, and really send him in and do these things. Doesn't seem like he's necessarily operating on his own will of like, I just have it out for these people, but them as a organization themselves are almost trying to put a stop. Maybe it's because it's the person at the top and you're trying to overthrow it or do something along those lines. I don't actually know. Izumi does come in and she's able to kind of do away with Akihito for the time being, and he doesn't kind of resist as much as, you know, he usually would, because he's not in his immortal state, so he's able to flee and kind of go hide out, which is, I mean, also a good thing, I would say, as opposed to just going out of his way and trying to attack and fight people. He just said, fuck it, I'm gonna go hide, so we don't have to worry about this. Her using her blood is a way to like form a key is really cool and open up the home. I love just finding all the glasses, finding these books and stuff. It's creepy, right? It is, but at the same time, you shouldn't be breaking into bro's. How does he have so many folders of this? It's insane. I love it though, that he's going to buy her a present for her birthday, a new pair of glasses. A disaster until we get to the state of where they are in, and she's like, listen, we gotta kill bro. That's the only way for us to put a stop to this. And Mirai is faced with the absolute question that she doesn't want to be a part of. She doesn't want to have to deal with. I like seeing Mitsuki like really concerned and not knowing what to do in this moment. And then the brother just trying to be like, fuck, like, I don't know, dude. Like, we just gotta go with it. But he is really suspicious, especially everything that Fujima told him, right? He doesn't really know what to do. He's also very concerned about the situation that they find themselves in. And I mean, I completely understand that as well. Not knowing if you can trust the people that you're extremely close to, not knowing if you can trust your family or something. I don't see why his human side would get so weak unless you use the frozen barrier, which we ended up seeing that she did. So doing things to kind of suppress that to allow his other version to take over, which then allows us to kind of go out of our way and attack and kill that thing a little bit more. Mirai learns a little bit about it. He gets told, or he tells her not to go out of her way and kills him. But she doesn't know what to do, just assuming that herself is cursed overall. This is where I'm like, I was wondering, why did Mirai go out of her way and decide that I need to kill him in this moment? Like, what was her resolve for? Like, where did that come from that made her just like determined enough to do this? Which we've seen since the beginning has been kind of implanted, almost like she's contracted to do so. But then she has a meeting here again with Izumi, which I'm assuming she says or does something for her here that solidifies like why it's so important for her to do so that we don't actually get to see occur, which is when Buddy starts doing his investigation and finds out a lot more than I think that he really bargained for here, right? He did not want to find all this out. Shows up and he ends up stealing the Hollow Shadow. Insane, blowing up all their knowledge. Not cool. And then I really do like this because it allows all the colors and everything to pop in the moments that they have, but she did find that that within her to show up here and actually attack and fight him until we get the end sequence where it seems like she's gonna lay that final blow, which I mean, she's not going to, right? Like, I'm like 99%. I mean, there's a movie. Like, we gotta let's be honest here. But they can always do something where maybe we're kind of being misled. I mean, I was under the impression, like, what's stopping us from killing this form, but his human form, then whatever little, weakening that's within it, but like whatever little remains can come to life from that point. Like, what's stopping that from occurring? Do we have versions of people who can, I mean, Ayaka can do things regarding healing and like fixing and stuff like that. Is there anything that she can do? I know she said it's difficult for her because she's never really seen the hybrid or something on his side. But if we're able to defeat and eliminate this version of him, is there then something that we can bring back just of his human form or something? I'm assuming we can kind of feed into and go into that a little bit, but we'll end up seeing. They're doing a really fun job at ramping things up as we keep going through the back end here with these episodes. So I'm excited to get into a little bit more and see how they end up progressing this a little bit. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you liked it, all, like and subscribe to me. Don't have to make feel free to check out the videos and channel. Like, comments to this series. I'll be back for episode 10 very soon. I hope you guys have a great one. Peace.